I think that we have to take life seriously. Yeah, the notion, the kind of thought, the school of thought that goes upon the lines of that life not meant to take it too seriously. It's a joke. It's an illusion for your play, and we're just here to play and dance and have fun. I don't roll with that understanding because if I look at history, I see the consequences of actions, and I see immense suffering and torture upon taking certain actions. And so, for those people to take it lightly are missing the point. I think the more serious you take life, life kind of finds you with its whimsical, unadulterated joys and jokes. But that only comes when you take life seriously. I think we're here to take life very seriously because the suffering that is going on with not only human beings but animals because of our willy-nilly approach to life. We are kind of lukewarm. We are not taking life seriously at all. And because of that, because we're so in our heads and we're so lost in our own infantile nature, that it's costing so much innocence to be cowled at the knife of our stupidity because we are just not taking life seriously. We don't know how to take life seriously because we don't know why we're here. We don't know the story. We're not interested in our origin. We're not asking questions. We're not interested in finding answers for ourselves. We are so numbed out. We are so lost in survival that we've lost our own heroic nature that is embedded in everyone. That nature means to go beyond yourself, to realize that you are existing in a body, but you are a part of consciousness. And that is the hero's journey. It's not, you don't become the hero in order just to get significance, so you can be on stage and put on a performance. Life demands that you cancel the performance. And only then you take life seriously because the consequences are real. You're just one paycheck away from being homeless. You're one decision away from wrecking your whole life. So it's important to make decisions with a lot of contemplation. And in order to make good decisions, I think you need to have a lot of self-reflection. You need to be able to say, wait, I'm not quite sure with this decision I'm going to make. And I'm going to hang back my decision and say no for now. And I'll get back to you. That is having boundaries. That is having diplomacy, and that is having discernment. And that is denoting to the universe that you're taking life seriously. That yes, even though that might seem like the best thing to do for other people, say yes, go to the party or just take this drink or whatever it is, it can be so small, but you know internally it's like, it's not where I want to go. Yes, I might play sport my whole life and it makes sense to go in that direction, but there's something inside of me that is like, it doesn't feel fulfilled. It knew that it was doing that just to get approval from others, just to survive so that I can be part of the crew, the jock crew, yeah man, and put on this performance, this arrogance. Where maybe I'm like, oh, I actually want to, I feel, do something else that pulls me, that is so obtuse. Maybe take up acting and be like, you know what, acting, I feel so alive. Being able to disregard my own sense of self, my own ego, and having to put that on the side and take on some new character gives me this play of like not taking my character very seriously, but taking life very seriously. Maybe that will give me a certain relevance for other people's struggles, because obviously when you're an actor, you have to understand the backstory of the character you're playing. In order to understand the backstory, you have to understand psychology. You have to have empathy. You have to have compassion, so that you can really delve into that character and play it with conviction. and you have to take that conviction very seriously in order to convict the story, the narrative. So let's just wind ourselves way back from this and yeah, back to the point of this video is that it's important to take life very seriously. And that is my school of thought. Obviously, there's times where you have to have a sense of humor, no doubt, but I think a sense of humor comes when you are serious about life. Because, yeah, instead of the other way around where you are taking life just as a whimsical joke, or just you're living very, just seeing everything as a joke and trying to make fun of everything, and then trying to take your life very seriously. It just doesn't work. I mean, if you look at some of the actors who are very like jokeful, very like play-heartedness, and look like Jim Carrey, who was on screen and just making fun of everything, not really just his characters are just completely, like more humor than anything. But you look at him now, who he is, he's like very different, because he realizes that at the end of the day, it's important, like there's something that you want to get from this life, and if you're not getting that, you're going to miss the mark. That is the original sin. And people who are, if you're just playing that character of making fun of yourself and everyone else, then you're going to miss that mark. And this is why it's important to be very serious and honest with yourself, because the reward will be that evanescence that you tap into, where you can't really write words about it. It's not something to be spoken of, but that's something that everyone is looking for, and it's something that is worth fighting for. It is something that is worth getting out of survival for, even dying for. Because when I die, I want to be there. I've touched that, and I milked it for all it's worth. And not only did I for myself, that I, like a well, I drove down into the depths of myself, disregarded everything that got in the way, all the traps, the pitfalls, and I cemented and rooted myself in those pristine waters and sucked that nutrients all the way up into my crown. And not only did I do it for myself, but I allowed other people to access it themselves. I wasn't just like, it's all mine, and I'm going to keep it for myself. I'll be like, listen here, I am consciousness. I am a part of all consciousness. I am everyone that's taking this seriously. And to be able to aid myself in others, it's like, that is the royal road. And that is the road that I take. And it's important that I remind myself why I'm doing that. And this is why I make the videos, so that I can document and take it seriously. So I can look back and see where I'm maybe fallen short, or where I'm dead center, dead on.